Okay, good morning. Hopefully that my horses will station and they will head right to the appropriate stalls. We've been working on this, but it's challenging. I'm not very good at this part and they're just learning. So let's see. Susie gets distracted by a bucket. These two are hard ones. That's great. Bucket. Good. Come on, B. Bucket. Bucket. So that was better. You know, as each horse came in, they got a little distracted by, there's an orange bucket right around the corner. Clarabelle is the easiest to train because she's the most motivated by food and breakfast. So, but they also need the visual stimulus. They need the visual cue, which is the raised arm. And that's kind of the, you know, just having them come in and know where to go. That would be, you know, that it's the fact that it's morning time, I'm out here, that would be the antecedent or the cue. But they obviously don't know that yet. This is not a learned and habitual behavior. So the next thing I would do is call them in and point. Bucket. That would be the next level. We're not quite there yet, right? So in the learning phase, I have to give them some help. And that can either come in the form of positioning my body in front of the entry, in front of the stall, which you saw I had to do for some of the horses. In some cases, it's just point. In some cases, it's point and drop the arm. If a horse needs a little bit more help, you point and hold the arm. And there is a difference. Some horses won't really understand if you point and drop. But if you point and hold, it takes them a minute to process the cue, then they figure it out. And when they do the behavior you want, which is follow your point and going in, you know, into their stall and stationing at the bucket, then you click. And so the next time you point, they get the cue. I don't have to hold my arm up as long. So you see, it's a little bit messy, but we're definitely getting there. There is no fighting, there's no food aggression, just a little bit of confusion. And if I do this every day, the confusion will disappear and everybody will just walk right in. They'll see me appear with their feed buckets, which are brightly colored. Not so much for them to discriminate green, pink versus blue, although someday I would like to get there. But the brightness, the high contrast of these colors, they can see from far away. And so when they see me come out with the buckets, they go, oh, that's a visual stimulus. That's a visual cue. It must be breakfast time. And then they start to head up toward the barn. And then I take over with the point and the verbal bucket. And that's kind of what we're going for, but this is a step in the process. So you can see it's not always perfect and it's not always neat and tidy, but it does work and it's a lot of fun.